Welcome to the What's Up London show. I'm your host, Jennifer Slay. Before we get started, I just want to acknowledge my ancestors who came before me. Without them, I wouldn't be here. And I also want to show my appreciation and the privilege that I have to live on these Indigenous lands, specifically the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, the Nunapawak, and Ottawandaran peoples. We have a great lineup today on the show, starting with an organization that has an empathy-driven message. And the program is called 519 Pursuit. Welcome, Michelle and Allison. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having us.
No problem, no problem. So please tell us about 519 Pursuit. How did it get started?
So 519 Pursuit is a local nonprofit organization. We work to help the homeless and those facing extreme poverty in the community. Mm-hmm. We focus on a friendship-based approach, and we offer care packages. With our partnership with the London Food Bank and the RBC Place, we're able to provide hot lunches from Monday to Friday for our friends. And since March of 2020, I believe we've provided, alongside the food bank and RBC Place, over 40,000 lunches in our community.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. That is amazing. And Michelle, how did you get involved with 519 Pursuit?
So about 22 months ago, I was homeless on the street for 2.5 years. And one time it was pretty cold at night. I had made this little fort contraption by a heat grate downtown London. And all of a sudden, when I was in there, I heard a couple voices just saying, hey, like, do you need anything? And I came outside and there was Allison and Amber of 519 Pursuit. And, they just sat there and talked with me, and they gave me a bunch of clothing and some blankets and some tea light candles so I could put in my box for it. And they just said, like, we'll see you again. I hope to see you again. And from there, I did get to see them again. And our friendship just grew. And they helped me realize that I am worth living and I'm worth the life that I deserved, and kind of took me from this low, low place that I was just steadily declining and brought me back to life. And here I am.
That is a wonderful story. I mean, it's just like I'm almost speechless, because you get support and then you offer support back, and it's just that give and take, beautiful type of relationship. So Allison, how did this start? Like, how did the idea come?
So I've been a security guard in the city for 10 years. So I'm often the voice of exclusion. When I went through that, often I tried to figure out a different route to support folks who were facing homelessness and kind of ending up at my door of work with nowhere to go. From there, we were able to make friendships with people, understand their stories, and just really see that having that supportive person that you can trust and walk alongside really does make a difference.
Amazing. And so there's a pledge. There's what's called the 519 pledge that you're doing right now. Can you tell more about that?
So we're in the first week of our 4th annual 519 pledge. It happens each year from October 1st to November 15th. It's a community initiative which we started to help support the donation of socks throughout the winter months. We don't often think about it, but socks are the most asked for item and the least donated. So we wanted to bring the community together, not only provide socks, but kind of change the conversation around homelessness and extreme poverty in the community leading into the winter months, and just see how we can become a better support system for those friends.
How do people get the socks to you?
So we encourage folks to take the pledge, and each individual pledger has a goal of 519 pairs of socks. At the end of our 6 weeks, so following November 15th, we'll be hosting a sock donation day where everybody will bring their socks in and we'll do a large count. In the last 3 years, we've successfully raised 100,000 pairs of socks, which has helped us donate forward into the community and surrounding areas to over 40 services, shelters, and community groups supporting our friends.
That is amazing. And so, we all have to get involved. So we collect the socks, and then there's one day where we all come together and bring the socks in. Okay.
So we encourage you to register online at our website, www.519pursuit.ca/pledge. There, when you register, ensure you click yes to receiving emails. And from there, you'll receive a bounce back email from our organization, giving you a complete toolkit to complete your campaign, whether it's a social media drive or in your work, play, office, school, church, what have you. We just ask that everybody gets involved and encourages those in their community to do the same.
Thank you so much. Thank you both for being on the show and for doing what you do. Obviously, it's making a huge difference.
Thank you.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Shot! Score! How about that puck movement? Score! Right on target.
Night's action on Rogers TV.
When an impaired driver killed my brother DJ, some people used the A word. They called it an accident, but it wasn't. An accident implies that no one was at fault. But when someone impaired by alcohol and/or drugs chooses to drive, they're fully responsible for the crash that can result. So please, for the memory of my brother DJ and the thousands of families whose lives have been shattered by impaired drivers, let's drop the A word.
A crash caused by impaired driving is not an accident.
You're watching Rogers TV, London.
Welcome back. Our next guest is Karen Erskine from the Women's Canadian Club. She's the publicity chair, and she is going to tell us all about the organization that does networking, that teaches so you learn, as well as does service in the community. Hi, Karen. Thank you for being on the show.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm pleased to talk about the Women's Canadian Club in London.
Yes. Can you tell us what is the Women's Canadian Club?
Well, the Women's Canadian Club was established in 1910, believe it or not, and it is an organization of women and men who come together and meet once a month on the second Thursday of the month to hear speakers on Canadian content, local issues. And we have over 700 members, at least we did before COVID. We had to close down our meeting, which was our April luncheon with speaker Dr. David Williams, and that was April 2020. So in the meantime, we've had audiovisual meetings by Zoom, and the members could, to try and keep our members connected. And it was free the first year they could join, and there was no membership fee. And then now this year we have the fee. We had a virtual speaker, Jesse Rogers, in September. And now in October, we are going to be live. And we are having Dr. David Williams, who was to be our speaker in April of 2020. And he is an author, an emergency room doctor, and a Canadian Space Agency program person. He's from NASA and he's Canadian. So he will be our first virtual speaker in October. We meet every month on the second Thursday of the month. And the fee for the year is $60, or you can come to one meeting for $20 if you like to kind of search us out. But we are sold out for our October meeting.
Oh, wow. And so do people meet in person? You said it's virtual. So do people meet in person and watch it, or is it just from their living room?
In October, it's not virtual. We are now starting to be live. We've changed our location, and it's at the Hellenic Community Center on Southdale Road. that is better parking, much more parking than downtown, and it's accessible for disabled people. It holds many more people than what we have to start with, because we have to follow the public health guidelines and be vaccinated, wear a mask, and we can only have 300 people. With our speakers, we contribute to the community as well. Our March speaker, on that day, we have a food drive and for money and foods. And we also support students. We have a youth speaker usually every meeting, but this year we are not because of COVID and the schools are just getting back. So we won't have a youth speaker as well for this year. But what they do is we give a scholarship for emerging leaders, one from each high school in the Thames Valley, the Catholic Board, the French Board, Blythe Academy. We then also have an award for the Catherine Selwyn Award from the Kiwanis Music Festival. We give a monetary fund for the pianist who comes in first. She was one of our blind. Yes.
So Karen, how would people be able to learn more? Would they just go to your website?
Yes, we are on Facebook, and we have a website, www.womanscanadianclublondon.com.
Wonderful.
And the other thing we do for community support, community contributions, is we participate with the Thames Valley School Board. We collect can tabs and we take them there, and we help to buy wheelchairs for disabled students. So we do quite a bit of work within the community as well. And our speakers, our December speaker is usually a musical event for us to enjoy for December. Every second month, we also have a reception, tea and coffee and some treats where we can visit with each other after we've heard the speaker. And we also can meet the speaker and chat with that person.
Wow. It sounds like an amazing organization, and we've run out of time and we want to learn more. So for sure, we will make sure to have the website below. It sounds like a great networking opportunity as well as a service opportunity. So thank you so much for
a learning
sharing.
opportunity.
And a learning opportunity, definitely. Thank you very much for being here, Karen.
And thank you for having me. I appreciate it very much. And our whole club appreciates the publicity.
No problem.
Thank you.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Huron Flooring offers a vast selection of pre-finished hardwood floors in a variety of colors, textures, widths, and finishes. We also provide resanding and refinishing of your existing flooring and stairs. Visit us at Huron Flooring, 782 York Street in London.
Hi everyone, my name's Ranger M. I love to knowledge share, and that's just what I'm going to do with you. So come on, let's go learn with Ranger M.
For more information about the vaccine and eligibility, visit healthunit.com. To book an appointment, call the number on your screen or book online at covidvaccinelm.ca.
You're watching Rogers TV.
Welcome back. Our next guest, Ashley Michelle, is an author and she has written us an inspiring story about how she was able to face tragedy and come out on the other side with a message to inspire. Hello, Ashley and Sunil. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for inviting us to be here to share Ashley's story and my tiny involvement in it.
Yes, we're happy to be here.
Awesome, wonderful. So Ashley, I was able to go over some of the information that you sent in, and you have a story. Can you please share with the viewers your journey?
Yes. So in 2016, I was almost murdered by my ex. I was strangled. I was sexually assaulted. And one of the things that really stood out to me was the detectives asking me to promise them something, and that was to not turn to the streets for drugs, prostitution, etc. So I wanted to take my journey and help others because I knew that I was no isolated situation. What I went through is a worldwide epidemic. People are survivors of crime every single day.
Yes, yeah. And thank you for your vulnerability and sharing that story with the world. And Sunil, I believe that you have helped in making sure that that story got told.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I met Ashley at a mutual event that we were at, an entrepreneurship event, and I quickly heard about her story and instantly, I mean, I'm about intuition. And I said, intuition must have played a role. Let's grab the story. We got together a couple of times. She helped me out with the 7-day challenge. And then next thing, I had my team work with her to essentially get her story out, get a book produced, to get a website in place, and a venue and a way for her to get that trauma, how to heal from trauma out, to help so many others. And what's happened is so many others have come out to really kind of thank her for that message and that courage and healing, because they've been affected. And so I play a super tiny role in opening Pandora's box, but the box has been opened and Pandora is sitting right here.
Yeah. And Ashley, what was that journey like for you in terms of that healing process and putting that down on paper?
It was actually quite therapeutic to sit down and write down everything. Obviously, like, my trauma just didn't stem from there. Like, trauma goes back to your childhood. So you really have to uncover every single rock and go back piece by piece by piece. And so that's exactly what I did. Like, I don't leave any stone unturned. I talk about everything. I talk about finding love after tragedy. I talk about domestic violence and some of the things that I experienced there, because my first relationship, it was super abusive. So that wasn't the first time that I was in an abusive situation. So I talk about mental health because there's still so much stigma around that, right? Like, you know, I talk about PTSD, I talk about anxiety, I talk about depression. And especially with like domestic violence, I've actually written a couple blogs on this because people are so quick to judge. Like, why is she staying with them? Well, you know, on average, it takes a woman 8 or 9 times. And, you know, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And look at what happened with COVID, for instance. You know, people were stuck in their homes going through violence and having nowhere to turn to. And, you know, and I think it's so important, and I talk about this a lot, you need a safe exit plan, because the highest risk of death is when you leave your abuser. So it is important to go to a shelter and reach out to your local community resources, because if you go to a friend's house, more than likely they're going to find you where you are. And, you know, women stay for all kinds of reasons. You know, there's financial, there's children involved. It's not just easy. You know, it's the same thing with mental health. You know, people say just, oh, snap out of your depression. Okay, well, it's really not that easy. That takes time. That takes healing. That takes work, dedication.
Yeah, which is why it's so important that your work, the book, is out there, because people are going through things. You never know what someone is going through. And when people can connect with another person, then it's like, well, if she can do it, I can do it. And so we thank you so much for, again, that vulnerability and putting yourself out there and sharing your story to help others.
Well, I have to help other people. Like, look at Gabby Bettina, she was 22 years old and had her life taken. Like, this has become a worldwide epidemic. And those are only some cases that we hear about in the news. So many other cases go untold.
Right, definitely. So where can we find your book?
You can find my book on my website, Finding Strength Through Tragedy. And you can also go to Ashley Inspires and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. And I do have a Facebook page called Finding Strength Through Tragedy as well, where I post quotes, I post videos, I post blogs, a lot of things that are going to be relatable to other people.
Okay, wonderful. And I know that we'll make sure that it's available on our social media pages so that people can find you and get your book. Thank you so much for being here, both of you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Tyler Fines, host of Off the Puck Hockey on Rogers Channel 20. We interview some of the biggest names in hockey and sports. Check us out, Rogers Channel 20, Off the Puck Hockey. Let's go.
Jeff from Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff. We're back for season 3. We've had the opportunity to see some great backyards and have some great barbecue. Join us, Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff.
I'm Ian Taylor, Director of Hockey Development at Ontario Minor Hockey. Today we're going to talk about speed with the puck.
The most important thing to remember is to eliminate unnecessary stick handling and underhandle the puck. This is an open ice or breakaway technique where the player pushes the puck with one hand on the stick in order to skate at full speed. The puck should be out in front of the body and off to the side. Push the puck ahead on the backhand with the bottom edge of the stick blade. The stick hand extends at the elbow and pushes the puck forward. The hands stay out of the area in front of the hips, and this allows for long, powerful strides. Underhandling is a key skill to maintain speed and allows the player to keep their eyes up and to read the play around them.
Check out more Chalk Talk episodes on Rogers TV and more drills and resources at omha.net.
Very good.
Welcome back. The Pillar Innovation Awards has been honoring and amplifying the critical community work of individuals and groups in the London community for 15 years. And today we have the pleasure of speaking with Sarah Lehman, who is the president of ExtraLife London Guild. And she's a finalist in the community leadership category. Hello, Sarah, and welcome to the show, and congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, well, we love having you. So tell us more about the organization that you're with.
Yeah, so I am the volunteer sitting president for the ExtraLife London Guild. We're a volunteer organization that works through Children's Health Foundation to raise money for our Children's Miracle Network Hospital here in London, Ontario. So we do all kinds of different fundraising events throughout the year to raise as much money as possible that stays here in the London community at the Children's Hospital.
Oh, that is amazing. That is amazing. And you have a story about your connection with regards to the hospital and a friend of yours that you were working with.
Yes. When I was in high school, I had a really great friend of mine, Tamara, who unfortunately had a brain tumor and she had to have an extended stay at the hospital. The great thing about the team there is that they allowed us to bring anything that we wanted in to make her room at the hospital feel like her room at home. So we decorated it with photos, with albums, with music, with pictures, everything that we could bring from her home and from our homes to make her feel like she was at home was so amazing. And she actually did recover. She had brain surgery here in London, and she was able to live for quite a while afterwards, about 1.5 years. Unfortunately, the cancer did return, and despite their best efforts, she succumbed to the illness. But I used kind of that kind of situation as an opportunity for me to grow and to use her memory and the things that she really would have wanted me to share with other people. To do that through ExtraLife, it's been really great to be involved with a hospital that took such great care of her and with a team of people who have really made a difference in other children's lives in our community. So I'm just really excited to be able to do something that makes a difference here in London and in my community.
That is amazing. And so, Sarah, tell us about how the London community can support you. Any upcoming events that are happening?
Absolutely. So we actually have one of our big signature events for the year coming up. It's our ExtraLife London LAN party. If you don't know LAN, it's local area network party. It's basically where a group of gamers all get together and plays video games for 24 hours straight to raise as much money as possible for the hospital, which is very fun. You don't have to like video games. We have people who play board games. We have people who do puzzles, play fun games with their family, and anything that, you can do together with your family that's fun. You can do that while you're raising money for the hospital. So we're doing that October 23rd. We start at 10 a.m. We'll be live on Twitch at twitch.tv/ExtraLife London. So you can always check us out, and you can find us on all of the social medias to find out more.
Oh my goodness, my children would love that. I mean, 24 hours of gaming. I mean, I'd be the best mom in the world.
We kind of sporadically do events throughout the year so that people can donate all the time, basically. We fundraise through the whole year. And we've done, since COVID, we've done a lot of our events virtually. So we do a lot of streaming events where we have other people who are active in the streaming communities come play games with us. We play with, we did a whole summer series this year with our patient ambassador, Taylor, this year called Twitch for Taylor. And we did streaming events all throughout the summer that were dedicated to our patient ambassador, Taylor, and that culminated with her super sweet 16 streaming event where we all streamed together for 16 hours straight in support of her on her 16th birthday.
It sounds like a win-win. Come have fun and raise money too.
Absolutely. It really is. Absolutely. We're such a great community of people, and we all just want to have fun together. So yeah, registration for our event this year is free, which is amazing. So anybody can come and play with us. It's great.
Thank you, Sarah, so much for all that you're doing. We appreciate you, and thank you for being on the show, and good luck.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
That's our show for today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to all our guests for being here. And please like and share on social media, and we'll see you again next week.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Hi, I'm Dan Mailer. I'm the host of London Lights, the show where we talk about notable Londoners who have made a big mark, big impact on the world of music, entertainment, sports, politics. Today our guest is Jonathan Hollow, Yuri Poole of the McCartney years, the one and only Jim Chapman, Peter Brennan of Jeans and Classics fame. London Lights, Thursday at 8:30.